How many fingers can you fit? I posted a poll a few days ago and asked you guys, how many fingers do you use in playing COD Mobile? While the results look like someone put up a middle finger, it's refreshing to see that 8% of 13,000 people use no fingers to play COD Mobile. How the hell do you do that? Also, don't cry cause I didn't put 6 fingers. That shit's hard, I can't even play it properly, so hats off to y'all, and here's your Medal of Honor. Anyway, the past few days I tried playing with 2, 3, 4, 5, and even 6 fingers on phone. Today we will discuss and rate each claw's setup and determine what kind of players will benefit into each HUD. Starting with 2-finger HUD. What can I say? This is where almost every one of us started and played. I'm not sure if most of you changed their HUD in the beginning, but I definitely couldn't play with the default HUD, so I made some changes. I moved around almost everything to accommodate movement. As for the functionality, you can surprisingly do a lot more movement than I thought of. You can slide peek, jump peek, then shoot, and you can even drop shot with this HUD. I learned all of these from Double Edges. You should check out his channel link down below. You can do slide peek by tapping the crouch button while running, then swiping to the direction you want to face without lifting your thumb. This actually blew my mind when I first tried it, no cap. Next thing you can do is jump peeking or jump shooting. Just like what we did with the slide peek, tap the jump button, then swipe to your ADS to fire button, and with that you can easily do jump peeking with 2 freaking thumbs. That's OP as hell. As for the drop shot, just tap the prone button wherever you want to do the drop shot. You're gonna stop moving anyway, so it makes sense to put your prone button beside your movement joystick. With this 2-finger setup, you can still do effective movement, but you're definitely missing some of the movements if you're an aggressive player. I'm rating this setup 5/10 because you have 10 fingers divided by 2 and that's 5. This claw setup for beginners that can't hold their phone with more fingers or are struggling to reach buttons on the upper part of their screen. Still, if you're using 2 fingers and you're a beast, I will give you this Medal of Honor as well. With 3 fingers, this grants us some things we can't do before that we can do now easily. So, with the current 2-finger setup, we're going to move some things again with the HUD to accommodate our 3-finger setup. This allows us to manual scope easier, and with a dedicated finger for movement, we can now perform bunny hop, slide peek, and jump peek while manual scoping if we want to. My only issue is with 2 and 3-finger setups is having to use the ADS to fire button with the right thumb, because having to lift your finger and tap on a separate button only adds to your reaction time. When in COD Mobile, having quick reflexes is king because of the fast-paced gameplay when it comes to multiplayer. This is where you begin your journey to becoming a certified tryhard. As for the rating, I'm going to give this setup a 6.9 out of 10 because it's a really nice HUD and it makes you appear a tryhard, but you're really not. You're just shy on using another finger. This is for players who want to make their transition to 4 fingers and want to try something new and be able to do things they weren't able to do with 2 fingers. If you're one of the top 8% who uses no fingers playing COD Mobile, that would be the perfect time to use your fingers and drop a like on this video. It really helps the channel and it allows me to create more content for you guys. If you're going to try all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. You already went ahead and added 1 finger. Why not add another one and unlock the full potential of your gameplay? We can divide our screen into 4 sections and each with dedicated finger. The upper left for shooting, upper right to toggle movement and scoping in, lower left for our joystick, and the lower right mainly for aiming. Just the perfect number of fingers to use in a mobile device. This also provides us with a more comfortable grip when we get used to it. But really the key to comfortable grip is making sure your buttons are in the right place. Having a consistent grip makes you consistent in reaching your buttons, controlling your joystick, and even help you get better aim. With the 4-finger setup and the added dedicated area for shooting, we can now do movement while firing, both while ADS and hip fire. The thing you can do here is use the tap to ADS button for when being aggressive in close range gunfights, while for when being passive and you want to pre-aim, use your scope button and hip fire button. Having to manually scope in close range combat requires you to have quick fingers, and that is something that's achievable if you practice it enough. I'm going to rate this setup a 9.6 out of 10. Because while it's almost perfect for phones, we can still add more fingers if we're crazy enough, and have more separation to give us more freedom and faster reaction time. This setup is being used by most pro players and as well as ranked warriors in COD Mobile. If you've reached this part of the video, I'm going to give you this trophy. Why the hell would you want to add more fingers? As we go past the 4-finger realm, adding more fingers gives us more control, but it isn't as rewarding like jumping from 3 to 4 fingers. The 5 to 6 finger realm is only for the true sweaty gods and for those people playing on iPad. A main thing you could do with 5 fingers is to have a separate area for both the scope in button and the fire button on either of your upper corners. Personally, I have set my ADS setting to tap and hold to ADS, so I can just let go of the scope button and it scopes out. And that's pretty much it. It gives you faster reaction time and freedom in doing movement without having to worry about scoping in or out, no matter what the range, unlike the 4-finger HUD. I'd rate this setup a 7.89 out of 10, mainly because 5 fingers on phone is a pain for me, and I'd rather compensate for the shortcomings of the 4-finger setup than be using a 5-finger one. This HUD can be used for snipers and for people who want to manually scope all the time. A good player on phone that uses 5 fingers is Raging Cactus. Look him up on YouTube if you want to see his hand cam. If you have a TV for a device, or you're using a huge phone and you have all that screen real estate, 6 fingers is an option for you. As you can see on the hand cam, I have tried it and I had to put down my phone in order to play because there's no way you can support a phone with 2 fingers with each hand. Well, maybe you can, but you'd be sacrificing visibility. The main benefits of this setup is having the freedom to assign each finger with a set of buttons that you like. Still, your thumbs will be in charge of aim and movement joystick, but no, both your middle and index fingers are in charge of movement and firing. 6 fingers is actually OP if you play it right, especially how most of the iPad players use 6 fingers. Trying out 6 fingers on phone was actually fun, and maybe if I end up playing on iPad, I'll try it out. But for now, phone is the way to go, especially if I decide to come back to the competitive scene. I'll rate this out with a score of 2.9 squared over 10, because at this point, you already know I'm just having fun with these ratings. Again, this setup is for players who has extra screen real estate, extra fingers, or even extra hands. That's it for today's video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and join our Discord server, both linked at the description down below. I will still be hearting and replying to all your comments for the first hour after a video is published for you guys to see. Hope to see you guys there. For the question of the day, do you use finger sleeves? Why or why not? Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.